Let's unearth 15 one-hit rock wonders from 1971 that screamed, soared, and vanished. These weren't just one-offs, they were rock's loudest ghosts. And the final song? It was banned from airwaves, but blasted in basements everywhere. 15. Crow, Evil Woman, Don't Play Your Games With Me.
I see the look of evil in your eyes.
Before Black Sabbath made it heavy, Crow made it dangerous. Evil Woman was a snarling, organ-driven blues rock banger that stormed the charts in early '71. It oozed frustration, fire, and attitude. The Minneapolis-based band never landed another major hit, but this one left a mark. And Sabbath even covered it on their debut album. Crow's blend of garage grit and horn section soul was ahead of its time, and Evil Woman still sounds like a bar fight set to music. Next up, a band that sounded like sunshine and vanished just as fast. 14. Coven, One Tin Soldier.
Listen, children, to a story that was written long ago.
This one rode the airwaves on a wave of peace, protest, and righteous rage. Coven, a band with actual satanic stage theatrics in their early days, pulled a total 180 with One Tin Soldier. Used as the theme song for Billy Jack, it became an unlikely AM radio hit with its haunting melody and anti-war message. The song reached millions, especially through its message, "Peace on Earth," was all it said. They never scored another major hit, but in 1971, this song was everywhere. Next, a sweet little harmony hit that would be sampled decades later by Drake. 13. Cymarron, Rings.
Ring, ring, telephone ring. Somebody said, baby, what you doing?
Soft rock perfection with a twangy twist. Rings was a gentle romantic tune that blended country harmonies with pop simplicity, the kind of song that lived on transistor radios and wedding mixtapes. Cymarron never got close to the charts again, but this one made a quiet dent. It was later covered by Lobo, Leo Kottke, and even Drake sampled it on his track You and the Six. There's just something timeless about the line. I got rings on my fingers and time on my hands. But next, we trade the gentle twang for an organ-fueled explosion. Smash that subscribe button now, or risk missing a banger you didn't know you remembered. 12. Bullet. White lies, blue eyes. You've heard this melody, even if you don't know why. White lies, blue eyes hit the top 40 with its driving rhythm and punchy chorus, the kind of AM rock that filled car radios and jukeboxes in '71. Bullet was thrown together in a studio to record a demo. When it exploded, the label scrambled to form a real band around the hit. But lightning didn't strike twice. It's pop rock with swagger, perfect for fans of Sugarloaf or the Grassroots, and it still holds up. Next, a horn-heavy anthem that sounded like blood, sweat, and tears on a caffeine binge. 11. Lighthouse, One Fine Morning.
One fine morning, girl, I wake up, wipe the sleep from my eyes.
Imagine Santana, Chicago in traffic had a jam session in a smoky Toronto bar. That's One Fine Morning. Lighthouse fused jazz horns, blues guitar, and a soulful groove into a wild, head-nodding trip. It was a huge hit in Canada and cracked the US top 30. But the band couldn't quite stick stateside. Still, this track rips. The solo section? A whole vibe. It's the kind of song that makes you want to throw open your windows and blast it into the street. But next, things get dark. Really dark. Oh no! 10. The Buoys, Timothy. A mining disaster, a missing friend, questionable dinner? Timothy is one of the most bizarre hits of 1971, a chirpy folk rock tune with lyrics that imply cannibalism. Written by Rupert Holmes. Yup, the guy who wrote Escape the Pina Colada song. This one caused radio panic. Some stations banned it. Others played it on repeat. Either way, the Buoys never had another big hit, but they left a weird, unforgettable mark. Coming up, a gospel-tinged hit that practically invented positive vibes radio. 9. Gallery. Nice to be with you.
Oh, it's so nice to be with you. I love all the things you say and do.
This track was like a smile in stereo. Nice to Be With You was a slice of acoustic soft rock that dominated 1971's easy listening charts. With feel-good lyrics and sunny harmonies, it felt like the musical equivalent of holding hands during a summer drive. Gallery struck gold with this debut single, but despite a few modest follow-ups, they never hit that high again. Still, this one became a wedding reception favorite and a staple of mellow rock compilations for decades. Next, a European duo that somehow took over US radio with the catchiest nonsense chorus you've ever heard. 8. Mouth and MacNeal. How Do You Do?
Once I said I wanna shoot, I don't remember right.
You've heard it, you've sung it, you probably don't know who did it. How Do You Do was a bubbly pop rock explosion that somehow crossed the Atlantic from the Netherlands and hit top 10 in the US mouth's gravel voice, and MacNeal's sweetness collided over claps, piano, and an insanely catchy hook. It was joyful, goofy, and just infectious enough to take over radio, then disappear. The duo was huge in Europe, but this was their only big American hit. Coming up, a psychedelic folk rock duo who flew under the radar, but made it onto every dorm playlist in '71. Cymarron, Brewer, and Shipley, Tarkio Road.
Moving on down the Tarkio Road, headed up to Creed, Nebraska.
They're best known for one toke over the line. But this was the track that should have hit. Tarkio Road was the title cut from Brewer and Shipley's 1970 album, but it kept picking up steam in '71 with its haunting harmonies and road-weary storytelling. It blended folk, country, and spaced-out rock in a way that predated Americana by decades. They never had another mainstream hit, but the influence? Quiet and deep. This is the kind of track that makes you want to roll down Highway 1 with no destination. And next, a glammy stomper that blasted open the doors for what came next. 6. Mungo Jerry. Baby Jump. You know them from In the Summertime, but in the UK, this was their number one. Baby Jump was Mungo Jerry at their wildest, gritty vocals, stomping rhythm, and a slightly unhinged vibe that felt like a pub brawl with a jug band. It shot to the top of the UK charts in '71, but the US never caught on. The track was banned by some UK stations for its suggestive lyrics, which, by today's standards, are adorably tame. It was raw, rowdy, and weirdly irresistible. Coming up, a band that made Sunday school sound like a jam session. Fifth Ocean. Put Your Hand in the Hand.
Put your hand in the hand of the man who spilled the water.
Faith never sounded so funky. Ocean's Put Your Hand in the Hand was a gospel rock crossover that dominated AM radio, peaking at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. With piano, harmonies, and that feel-good energy, it was played in churches and coffee houses alike. The Canadian group never matched that success again, but this track became a cultural fixture, covered by everyone from Elvis to Loretta Lynn. It's one of those songs that makes you sing along before you even realize it. And next, a band that blasted jazz and rock into the stratosphere. 4. Chase. Get it on.
I need some loving. I said I want some loving.
Forget Chicago, forget blood, sweat, and tears. Chase took jazz rock fusion and made it epic. Get It On, not to be confused with the T-Rex track, was a horn-fueled monster, screaming trumpet solos, driving guitar, and a vocal delivery that sounded like it was coming from the back of a speeding Camaro. It reached number 24 on the Billboard Hot 100 and earned them a Grammy nomination. Sadly, tragedy struck the band just a few years later in a plane crash, cutting their run short. But this one, it still slaps. Next, a band born in bubblegum pop that accidentally delivered a rock hit. 3. Tintin. Toast and Marmalade for tea.
Toast and marmalade for tea.
Psychedelic nursery rhyme or soft rock fever dream? Toast and Marmalade for Tea was a quirky, keyboard-driven groove from Australian band Tintin. And yes, the Bee Gees' Maurice Gibb produced it. The warbly piano effect, caused by a tape machine malfunction, became the song's signature sound. It barely cracked the US top 20, but left a weird, wonderful footprint that earned it cult status among vinyl collectors. Tintin vanished soon after, but this track lives on in countless chill playlists and, wait, who was that again? Conversations. Next, a novelty rock hit with a cartoon attitude and a naughty little smirk. 2. Daddy Dewdrop. Chick-a-boom. Don't you just love it?
Last night I had a crazy dream about a chick in a black bikini.
This one's pure madness. Chick-a-boom was a spoken word rock novelty hit loaded with cartoonish effects, absurd lyrics, and one very catchy bass groove. Originally written for a cartoon TV show, it exploded into a top 10 hit in '71, mostly because nobody could get it out of their heads. Daddy Dewdrop, real name Richard Monda, never came close to the charts again. But this song became a pop culture curio, silly, slick, and weirdly unforgettable. And the number 1 spot? Let's just say it made the censors sweat and gave teenagers everywhere a new anthem of rebellion. Number 1, Head East. Never Been Any Reason.
Would you like some affection before I leave again?
That synth intro, that soaring chorus, that dual vocal showdown. Never Been Any Reason wasn't just a one-hit wonder, it was an underground anthem. Head East dropped this in late '75, but it gained traction regionally and crept into classic rock radio rotations for decades. With its sudden tempo changes and unforgettable hook, Save My Life, I'm Going Down for the Last Time, it became the song that every rock cover band had to learn. It never hit big on the charts, but on the road and in the bars, this one lived forever. And that's why it closes our list. 1971 was full of rock giants, but these one-hit wonders? They snuck in through the side door and left a legacy anyway. Whether it was bubblegum insanity, gospel groove, or glammy stomp, these forgotten tracks still deserve one more spin. So which one brought back a memory you didn't know you had? Drop it in the comments, and let's dig deeper together. And if you love this countdown, you'll want to be here for the next one. 15 forgotten one-hit rock wonders from 1972. Where the hooks are tight, the hair is big, and the titles get even weirder. Subscribe now. The vinyl never stops spinning.